Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed Rehaan and today we are going to see how to configure an email server using Cisco Packet Tracer. So basically whenever you send an email, it doesn't directly go to the receiver, it first go to the mail server, and from there whenever the receiver requests for the mail, then the server forwards it to the receiver. So that is all about the introduction. Let's go to Cisco Packet Tracer. So this is our empty file or new file, whatever you can say. So uh, here we are configuring an email server. So obviously we require a server. So let's go to these end devices, take a server, place it here somewhere, like okay. So now we are sending and receiving emails, so we at least require like two end devices, for like two PCs, one for sending and one for receiving. So let's take PCs, PC1, PC2 or 10. Okay, now for the connection part, let's go to the cables straight through. So now there is a problem. We need to connect both these PCs to this server, but this server only has one port. So what we can do here is we can go to the network devices and select switches. We can select any switch from here, and now we can connect it. So we can connect this switch to this server, and from here we can connect these number of devices. So let's connect this PC1 to this switch and PC2 also to this switch. Okay, so we are done with the connections. Now we need to assign an IP address for each of the devices used here. So let's start with PC0. Go to desktop, go to IP configuration, give an IP address, static IP address. So I'm giving here 192.168.100.1. give the subnet mask, close it, and for our references let's write here 192.168.100.1, so that we will be able to see it easily. Let's go to PC1, desktop, IP configuration 192.168.100.2. just make sure that these three blocks are same, because this is the network part and this should be same, so that we can transfer it locally. Okay, close this. Okay, let's note it here 192.168.100.2. let's go to the server, desktop, IP configuration 192.168.100.3. That's it for configuring the IPs. Now we are trying to send email from this PC to this PC, so we need to have two mail IDs, one for this one and one for this one, one for this one and one for this one. So let's configure the mail here. Go to this PC, go to email, and here it is basically just like signing up for your new account. So let's fill this up really quick. Let's say this is PC1 and the email address is, let's say, pc1@mail.com. So the incoming mail server, the domain name for the incoming name server, we will keep it as mail.com and mail.com, incoming and outgoing both. Now here the credentials. So username, I'm providing it at PC1, and the password is, let's say, admin PC1. Let's save this. So we have configured email in PC1 or 0. And now let's go to this PC. So let's say this is PC2. Email address is pc2@mail.com. Mail.com and mail.com is the incoming and outgoing server. Username is PC2. Password is admin PC2. Save. So we are done with this part. Now let's come to this server. So we are configuring an email server. So we need to set this. So we need to say this server is an email server. So for that, go to services. There are many services here, so we are interested in this email. Make sure these SMTP and POP3 are on. SMTP is for SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and it is for sending the mails. POP3 is the post office protocol, which is used for receiving the mails. The domain name here should be same as the one that we have provided here in the both PCs. This is the domain name, this is also the domain name, so these should be same here, mail.com. so let's set it. So basically what we have done in these two PCs is we have created an account. Basically we have signed up, not signed in. So let's go to the server and sign in, or basically you can say login. So use your credentials PC1 and admin PC1. Add the user. We need to also add PC2, admin PC2. Add this. So basically now we are done with the setup, basic setup. Only one thing is remaining, and that is we have provided domain names everywhere, here. So the domain names on their own can't do anything until they are resolved into some IP address. So for resolving that domain names into IP address, we require a domain name server. So for that, let's go to end devices, server, and place another server. Let's connect it to the switch. Okay. We forgot to put IP address here, 192.168.100.3, and this we will give as 192.168.100.4. so let's configure this. Desktop IP configuration, say 192.168.100.4. Subnet mask. Okay. So now we need to say that this is a DNS server. So go to services, click DNS, make sure this service is on. Now let's provide the IP address, mail.com. This is our domain name, and this should be mapped to the IP address of this server. So let's map it, 192.168.100.3, and add this. So now we are done with the setup. Now let's send mails. So compose. So we are currently in PC1, so let's send mail to PC2 at mail.com, and subject, let's say test1, testing mail 1. So let's send it. Okay, this is send success, and here you can see DNS is resolved from mail.com. It is resolved to 192.168.100.3. okay, so let's now go to PC2 or PC1 or whatever. You can click receive to get the mails. You can click the mail to read the content. And that's it for today. If you want this file, I'll give it in the description. You can download it from there. Thank you.